Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This presentation is brought to you by Synergy Business Advisors Noida, your trusted business mitra providing complete advisory solutions. Can insolvency proceedings be stopped just because recovery cases are pending? Can a housing society or home buyers association step in and object before an insolvency case is even admitted? And once a borrower defaults, does the NCLT still have freedom to say, let's wait? In 2026, the Supreme Court gave a crystal clear answer, and this judgment has changed how Section 7 of the IBC works. Today we are discussing a landmark Supreme Court judgment. This is Alumnus Cooperative Housing and Commercial Society Limited versus Edelweiss Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. This ruling is crucial because it settles long pending confusion around admission of Section 7 insolvency applications, effect of restructuring agreements, role of SURFACE and DRT proceedings, rights or rather lack of rights of third parties, and the true limits of NCLT's powers under IBC. These were the issues which were discussed and decided by Honorable Supreme Court. In this case, Edelweiss ARC was a financial creditor of the corporate debtor. However, due to financial stress, the borrower entered into a restructuring agreement, revised timelines and payment terms were granted. However, the borrower failed to comply even with the restructured obligations. As a result, Edelweiss filed a Section 7 application under the IBC. At the same time, SURFACE and DRT proceedings were already pending. A cooperative housing society and other stakeholders attempted to intervene, arguing that insolvency would affect their interests and therefore should not be admitted. The Supreme Court examined some fundamental questions. Does breach of restructuring agreement amount to default under IBC? Is admission of a Section 7 petition mandatory once default is proved? Can pending SURFACE or DRT proceedings block insolvency initiation? Do housing societies or associations have locus standi at the admission stage? Can an NCLT rely on Rule 11 to override the statutory IBC framework? The Supreme Court reaffirmed the very foundation of the IBC. It held that once a financial debt exists and default is established, admission of a Section 7 application is mandatory. The NCLT has no discretion to balance equities, grant indulgence, or delay admission for sympathetic reasons. IBC is a rule-based economic legislation, not a forum for negotiations or delay. The Supreme Court further held that breach of restructuring agreement revives defaults. This is one of the most important takeaway. The court clarified a restructuring agreement does not extinguish the debt. It merely postpones enforcement. Once the borrower breaches the restructuring terms, the original default automatically revives. The financial creditor gets an immediate right to initiate insolvency. This prevents borrower from misusing restructuring as a protective shield against IBC. Number 3, SURFACE and DRT proceedings are not a bar, the Supreme Court made it absolutely clear that SURFACI and DRT proceedings are recovery mechanisms, whereas IBC is a resolution mechanism. Both can proceed independently. Pending recovery actions cannot stop or delay insolvency proceedings. Question number 4. Section 7 proceedings are strictly bipartite. The court decisively ruled that Section 7 proceedings at the admission stage are strictly bipartite. That means only the financial creditor and the corporate debtor have the right to be heard. No third party can step in at this stage. Next question. No locus standi for housing societies or association. The Supreme Court categorically held that cooperative housing societies, home buyers associations, self-appointed representatives have no locus standi at pre-admission stage. At appellate stage, natural justice applies only to those who have a legal right to participate. NCLT Rule 11 cannot override the IBC. The court also placed a firm limit on NCLT's inherent powers. It ruled that Rule 11 is a procedural, not substantive. It cannot override the IBC. It cannot be used to defeat timelines or statutory intent. Inherent powers exist to support the statute, not dilute it. Role of NCLT at a resolution plan stage. At the resolution plan stage, the court reiterated NCLT can check legal compliances, but NCLT cannot interfere with commercial decisions. The commercial wisdom of the Committee of Creditors remains supreme. This judgment is a strong reaffirmation of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. The Supreme Court's message is loud and clear. Once default is proved, insolvency must follow. Not objections, not sympathy, not delays. IBC works only when discipline is enforced. This is C&IP Praveen Agrawal thanking you for watching. I hope this presentation will be helpful for you. Please subscribe to the channel for more such informative videos. Thank you.